2, you're going to run into 8 different manufacturers of weapons. There are going to be guys like Jacobs, that Old West theme where you're going to see wood grains and metals and engravings. You're going to see Malawan, the more of that science fiction kind of feeling where you're going to get these, like sheens, and you're going to have these emissives and things like that. You're going to run into Vladok, which is going to be, this is more of a rapid fire, almost a Russian AK-47 kind of vibe. You're going to run into TDR. These guys are like the disposable almost. And the way the guys got the shapes are from like disposable Vic razors. You don't actually reload a TDR, you just toss them away every time. So all these different weapons have different themes, and you're going to see that visually whenever you pick one up. The major things that we felt that we could do more of is we could go to how you experience the world and the story. And that happens through, no longer do you just go to a point, do one thing, and come back and turn it in. Now you get that greater sense of world and adventure. You just keep progressing forward. And that's through the gutting of the mission system. Now you can go from point to point to point and keep just moving. Keep getting the story, keep feeling and understanding what you're doing and why you're doing it. So the mission you guys just experienced today, where you're going to play, I don't know what class you picked at, but you ran into Mordecai from the first game, and you're at the Wildlife Exploitation Preserve, and he's looking, his Bloodwing has been kidnapped. So you're there at an a wildlife preserve trying to rescue his Bloodwing, at which they, in that whole area, they've been doing experiments and things, so you're trying to rescue this thing. So the sense of place and why you're doing things is all much more connected. Things I love are the way co-op has just gotten better. Yeah. And that's a couple of small things and a couple of big things. The small things that some people may or may not notice, if you're a role-playing guy, you're really going to notice this is how the skills complement each other, right? So co-op, and you're going to have skill trees where Maya, for example, can do a remote res, or if you have the commando, he can do that longbow version of his turret. Like all these things are better for co-op and deploying. But the bigger things we've done is the missions. Now, if you have a friend join you and you guys are like levels apart, and you're like, man, I already did that mission, it's all broken. We fixed that now. You can roll back and go back through the thing and help your friend catch up. The other thing we've done is in split screen mode. Oftentimes in games you have to select split screen to start, and we're going to play split screen right now. In Borderlands 2, you can have your friend show up later and dynamically drop in the split screen. You don't have to restart anymore. Everything is, we want people to be able to play, and we don't want barriers to get in the way. We actually have a couple of things we do. What we have at Gearbox is a thing we call the Truth Team. And what that is we have players come in off the street constantly, always play testing our games, way before they're even announced publicly. And we do this through college campuses. We go out to regular retail stores, say, hey, you're buying video games, I heard you like games, and bring them in. And what we do is we test out new ideas and new features, and we trend these over time. So we play with just small elements like, hey, does this guy get faster through the UI understanding quicker? So we'll chart week to week to week different people trying different things, and we just experiment. And the other side is actually some of the players of Borderlands 1, they probably remember when we started doing those DLCs, you started to see a little bit of differences in how we delivered story and how we played with gameplay. Like we had the Nox, how the story was happening and how Nox was interacting with you. Or Moxie, you saw us experimenting with gameplay types. Yeah. But we're still working within the confines of Borderlands 1's game space.